boy, howdy, as my friend and tattoo artist would say. Oh boy, howdy. Look at the energy at play. Yeah, how's it going this week? Hey, how you doing? So it's a wild week, and it's the second week of 2022, and just checking in to see how you're doing and tell you a little bit about my week and what's coming up for me. So this week's had like a little bit of everything in it. It's been packed full of so much, and it's been a wild ride, like with its ups and downs and its ebbs and flows, and it's all around the wheel. Yeah, from the highest highs to the lowest lows. And so, yeah, where do we go? You know, we come back home. So, yeah, today's been a good day. Just got back from the chiropractor, and I hadn't been in for a couple weeks since before the holidays, and so that was nice to get an adjustment and get realigned. Feel like I can, you know, walk out of there straight. And not that I haven't, you know, been like feeling aligned or anything, but it's just been, yeah, I don't know, like lots of scattered energy. And now it feels like I'm gathering it back to the center, to the still point. And so becoming a little more clear about things, and sometimes the clarity does come in waves, and then yeah, then there's confusion, and then it's like, okay, I trust this letting go. I trust that it's okay not to know. So just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it all go, let it go. And so, yeah, we're in that new moon, or that full moon window now. So we have a full moon in Cancer coming up on the 17th. And so we're in that window now, in that portal period of stepping through uh, this change and these changes, and stepping, yeah, through the door into the new. Yeah. And so letting go of what I can't, or what I'm not willing to take with me, and what I know I'm not going back to. And certain things have been coming up this morning. Yeah, it was really super interesting to have a lot of emotions come up and be stirred up. But I know, actually, you know, from my practicing non-attachment and practicing witnessing and observing, it's a lot easier to still allow those feelings to be felt and moved, and not get so attached to them or carried away by them in certain stories, in certain scripts, descriptions, or identities, or roles. And I may, yeah, share a little bit more about that in just a moment. But it was really interesting where, yeah, it's a high charge of energy, and it's just coming up again, yeah, for me to look into, and for me to redirect. And also, like, it is going into deeper levels of these old stories and these old strategies, to discharge them, to neutralize them, to rewrite them. And to turn them around. And so, yeah, what can I share about this week? Yeah, oh my gosh, it did help me so much. Just everything that I did speak and I did offer and I did share, like all my words came back to me, so I could take my own advice and I could receive my own heart's wisdom. And so that was super helpful for me to remember, oh yeah, humor and lightness and forgiveness and well wishes and allowance and acceptance for the non acceptance, and FeelKissFlow, and surrender, letting go, all of that, letting go of control, and asking the universe, asking love, asking God, asking the angels, asking the allies, asking the ancestors, asking love and life for help, asking the goddess for help, asking the mother for help, and inviting them. Yes, I invite you to help me with this. And that was a good little nugget that I got from Lee Harris like a week or two ago. I was just, yeah, happened upon that, and it said, I invite spirit to help me with this. And so I just tailored it to how it felt right for me. So I invite God to help me with this. I invite the highest good to help me with this. I invite, yeah, true love to help me with this. And so that's been helpful, and that does lighten it up. That does help to lighten it up, and so I can be with what is now. And so I just wrote like a little bit this morning, just because I was, witnessing and observing like all this raw emotion come up, and it's super interesting because it does relate to a lot of anger. All of the anger that I worked through almost these last 2 years. Some of those themes and stories, that trigger the pain body and the emotional wound, the original wounds of betrayal, abandonment, and rejection. And so I'll share a little bit about that. So January 14th, 2022. And the nodes shift into their new signs of Taurus and Scorpio soon. This is an emotional full moon in Cancer. Boom. Feeling all the challenging emotions come up this morning relating to the aspects of my energy or myself that I've been actively playing and working with and fully integrating. Wow, it's so super intense and so interesting, really. And so, some of the themes that were coming up, and I was just like, at first, kind of like, I wonder why I'm going back into this right now, kind of a thing. And I was just like, I'll just watch and observe. And it was really, really strange too. Like, it was like almost like an emotional whirlwind inside. That was a cyclone that was like, it was so powerful, and it was spinning around. And it was like, do I let myself get swept up and carried away by this? Or do I just, like, call in the neutral witness to observe this and still allow me to feel what I feel, but I don't have to get, like, sucked into it. I don't have to let it suck me dry, And so, like, even though, like, sometimes it does feel sucky, like, it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to be that. Like, what else is it? It's just, So, I titled it, What's Got My Goat? And that's perfect because of all the Capricorn energy. And the goat is the challenger and the adversary. And I've been having fun playing with the goat, like, for the last couple of years, actually. And I have a funny story about about goats too. So in 2020 in October, my husband and I got to go stay at my little, my aunt's little place, my aunt's little farm out in Callio, and they raise goats and stuff. They breed them and they raise them and stuff to sell them and all that. And it's just so funny watching the goats sometimes and their little habits and their mating rituals and everything, and just how randy they are, and just like, they're just motherfucking goats. That's just what they are, So, and every time I have like some kind of trigger or some irritation or frustration or just something that was like, like, what do I do with this? And it's just like this song that came to me, like this trickster song, where it just kind of helps me laugh at myself and laugh at the situation so I can like level it out and level up, And so it's just really super simple, but it's silly too. And I have like a lot of those songs that kind of just help me like get moving along. And so I don't stay stuck, and like just Yeah, like that helplessness and that victim mode. And so it's just silly. Like it would come up, motherfucking goats, motherfucking goats, motherfucking goats, motherfucking goats. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes that just wants to be expressed, and then I can just like, all right, we can do this. You know, what's got my goat? Whatever floats your boat, whatever floats your goat. It's all right. So just let it go. So what's got my goat? And the unacceptable. This is like the unacceptable. This is like what I've had such a hard time accepting. And yeah, I've noticed that sometimes the only thing that my ego wants to do with it is differentiate or separate. That's right, that's wrong. They're right, you're wrong. Or you're right, they're wrong. You know, that kind of a thing. Or it's all wrong. You know, and so it's like, can I move beyond that right and wrong story? And really, because it's so old, and I even wrote something about that the other day, because it's so old, and it feels like such a chokehold. And so yeah, I'll share that next. But this is what yeah, a lot of the stuff that was coming up and was swirling up, and it was in my field, and it was just like, wow, where is this coming from? And okay, guess we'll be here with it. So it's the not enoughness, the lack, and the wrongness. The entitled asshole, yeah. The normalized self-importance or self-pity. The do it my way, one way. The right and wrong, disempowered cage of conformity. Slavery, tyranny of the martyr, savior, villain. Stories. The exclusionary policies and narrow-minded, closed-minded, dogmatically rigid, small-minded, hyper-fixated, cold-hearted, intellectualized emotions and stories on what should not be, or all that demonizes being free. The unwillingness to take accountability or acknowledge personal choices and personal and tribal responsibility. And the victim, hero, judge, blame game, the survival coping mechanisms, defensive strategies, the walls, the armor, the masks, the pride, the guilt, shame, and vanity. Narcissistic, extroverted train wreck of a social pecking order, fallen and inverted hierarchies, the distortions of values and virtues, yeah, of our own worth, and the half-assed living of vicariously, yeah, living vicariously through all these imitations and demonstrations of false authority, or like the celebrity worship and yeah, that hero worship, and deferring to a higher, yeah, authority. The apathy, the ignorance, the self-righteous stick measuring, divided competition and constant undermining, the knee-jerk resistance and outright refusal to open to empathy or another point of view or another's way of seeing, being, or perceiving. Relating, operating, and cooperating. The cognitive dissonance, the unwillingness to see, the unwillingness to look at and look into the corruption of the state, the crimes against humanity, against self, against life, the gullibility, the spiritual, emotional, mental bypassing, the convenient reinforcements of constant storytelling, The scripts, the hashtags, the advertisements and the marketing, the public relations and the psychological manipulations, all the lies, 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 and stories. Two-faced hypocrisy, condemnation and atrocities, unnecessary suffering, mind traps, mind games, mind control. The lower beast, mob mentalities, social credit scores and stereotyping, public executions and character assassinations, slander, judgment, and mindless assumptions. Icky poo, uncomfortable fucking feelings. Grief, sorrow, despair, depression, exasperation, frustration, and rage. Helplessness, powerlessness, learned and reinforced victimhood, programming. Fear, pain, trauma, abuse, the normalized exploitation, manipulation of emotional, mental, psycho-spiritual control strategies. The punishment and reward system. Self-justified, shadow behavior. The not enough, too much, poverty victim consciousness, story loops, and behavior. It's a slippery slope between exile and belonging. The scapegoat, the black sheep, the misfit, the outcast, the saboteur, the outsider, the rebel, the good girl, the wild child, the feral child or the feral woman, the addict, the escape artist, the ghost, the giver, the saint, the people pleaser, the whore, the damsel, the fragile covert narcissist, the orphan, Atlas, the martyr, and the miser, the adversary, the challenger. I'm so fucking tired stories. Those are the energy leaks and drains that are coming into my awareness. So the healer, the mother, the child, the magician, the victor, the crone, the witch, the sage, the lover, the idealist, the dreamer, the creator, the leader, the warrior, the maiden, the queen, the goddess, claiming her throne. She has come home to be one with herself. All one. She's not all alone. She's one all. She's one whole. She's all one. She's all whole. I agree that I can overcome my own insecurities. And that's what I choose. That's the love I choose for me. And so, yeah, I was just looking at like some of these things and wondering, how, in the world, can I go beyond, this right and wrong story, this right and wrong song? Because I'm ready to do that, to choose the middle way. And so, yeah. I'm playing with, paints this week. And, yeah, a message, that I got this week. It's that I am the self-initiator. I am the self-initiator. So dare to be bold. Yeah, to self-initiate. So I did hear something profound about that. Something that I was listening to, and it was about maybe 5 or 6 days ago. And yeah, I was kind of blown away by it. I was just listening on YouTube to a long podcast, and yeah, there was lots of gems and lots of nuggets in that. And it was live from a strange realm. Yeah, so it was yep, this is a strange week. I'm going to embrace the strange this week. I'm going to let it be strange. I'm going to let it be weird. I'm going to allow myself to be weird. I'm going to allow myself to be strange. I'm going to allow myself to be a stranger to myself if that's what I need to be. That's what I need for me. And so it was just allow the strange. Let it be weird. Let it be strange. And why don't you welcome that in and just, and let it be what it gets to be. And so, just self-initiator, dare to be bold and fearless, release that old chokehold, and know that I am, 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 that I am. I know that I am all that I am. I know that I am, that I am, that I am. And so, slow down, listen, receptivity, playfulness, curiosity, reciprocity. Be willing to do things a little bit differently. Flexibility, spontaneity, letting go with love. Love is free to be. Gratitude, willingness, trust, and humility. Awe, wonder, and creativity. And so, yeah, some of the things that were coming up for me when I was just like, wow, this is such an old story. What can I do with this story? Maybe. So noticing and observing an old mental strategy that causes suffering. And it feels so old. It feels so fucking annoying. It's such an old chokehold. Why does it always go to how? Yeah, I was asking where is my mind, because it was like, this is like we're in a monkey wave spell right now as far as the Mayan calendar goes, and so I was just kind of playing with that, like, where is my mind, where is this magic monkey mind of mine so fucking obsessing, has a life of its own? Where does it go and where does it mind? What is it trying so hard to resolve and rewind or unwind to remind? Yeah, what is it trying to do? So it's like, hell, Jesus. And I was just like, yeah, just watching it. And like, this is an old pattern. It's just like an old unconscious pattern. And so just becoming aware of it helps me shift it. And so it's always wondering how, like, a certain belief or a certain opinion or a certain story would look to, like, others that are important to me that don't necessarily hold those same beliefs or opinions or images in their own mind, and how would it look to them, like, you know, what kind of light would they be viewing it from, or is it a flattering light that they could see, like, me in, or something that I want them to see, you know? And so it's really about, like, proving my worth and my legitimacy, and so that they can see me as right and I can see me as right, you know. And that's just silly, and I've been, like, aware of that for a while, that this is a strategy of mine, so that everything can look all right, you know. And then it can, if it looks all right, maybe it'll feel all right, and maybe it'll be all right. But yeah, and so it's like, what's my mind trying to do? Like, retie or reinforce or confirm, affirm, or deny and avoid? What is it trying to protect me from or defend me from? And I know, like, it's all about this. I know what it's about. And it's just like, well, you know, I've affirmed to myself, yeah, I'm okay, you know, like, I'm okay, like, to be where I'm at, and they're okay to be where they're at. And I don't have to make them wrong, and I don't have to make myself wrong either. And I don't have to make myself right either, and them wrong. So, but it is about, like, this strategy of, to prove that I am right in my seeing and I am worthy. I'm not just up in the night, and I'm not just a crazy conspiracy theorist of lies, misguided and silly, strange, or sick in the head, wrong for being an incorrect or in error, in danger of losing my head. But I'm just so done with this dead end, and I'm not sure how to turn it around besides just letting it be here, around, and shifting it through, you know, the only way, you know, like, where I can, like, I have found, I can shift my focus is through well wishes for we. May you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be at peace. May you be well. May you be held, you know. May you feel peace. And just, yes, offering that to myself and offering that to the other. That's in my mental strategy, in this story. Yeah, in my own mind playing out. And so sending love to the actual person and turning it around that way, because it's okay, really. Like, the only thing that's really keeps us divided is our own minds, you know? So, may you be happy, may you be at peace, may you feel well, may you be at ease, may you feel supported, safe, and held, may you feel loved, may you be well, may you know love, may you know peace, and may you know in your heart all is well. May you feel unburdened, may you know you're held, may you feel beloved, may you feel truly well. Rise, sister, rise. Rise, you will rise. Rise, you will rise, you will rise again. Live again, start again, begin again. Jump in, surrender, and wash it all away. Jump in, remember who you are and why you're here, why you came. And so, yeah, just looking into that, those right and wrong stories, and ready to surrender, like surrender all those wrongs, you know, to cooperate and to allow and to participate and make room for other people to have their own experience, their own lessons, their own beliefs, their own opinions, their own stories, their own choices, their own lives, and letting them go with love. Because love is free. Love is free to be received. Love is free to be. Love is free for giving. Love always, always. What else wants to be said about that? So I was at the chiropractor today. He always taps in. He taps in and he'll offer different messages. And that's what he was talking about today. Yeah, it was like letting go of those wrongs. And so I'm always like sitting there just kind of smiling, with just like, oh, I wonder what he's going to say today. Because it's like always aligned with what I'm working with and playing with and working towards and just moving towards. And so, yeah, there's some good confirmations and things today, and it's fun just to receive those messages through love always, through all these expressions of love that we are, that we get to play for each other, for ourselves, for one another, for all our other selves. So, yeah, I let myself play this week more than I have in a little while, actually. And so, yeah, I've been painting a lot, and thanks to my mom, not that I didn't have canvases before, but man, she gave me like 40 big ones, and just been having fun with some of them just because I felt like it, and just like, why not? Let's go downstairs and let's go play with some paint. And so, last week I painted with, I just was feeling the gold and the rainbows and stuff, and so I actually did share a couple things in one of my videos that just didn't end up having sound, but I'll share these again, because this was like the most fun thing I've done in a couple months, as far as painting goes, just because it was so spontaneous, and it was just like, oh, let's just play and see what we get to do. And my inner child was so freaking happy about this, and just was loved every second of creating it, and it didn't have to look like anything in particular or be any one thing. It could just be whatever it was. And so this is so super fun to do, and just to mess around with, just for the pure joy of it. And so there's some gold and rainbow colors, and it kind of reminds me of fried eggs or something. And my husband, here, we'll turn it around for a different view. My husband said, oh, it's kind of like amoebas or something like that. Yeah, it's amoebas. But yeah, super fun. Just to play with the colors and let them just float around. And then, yeah, just be what this is and gets to be. Just for pure joy and creativity. And it opened up a lot more things for me. And this was the first one that I did, and I had been working with feathers a lot and wings, and this is what came out first for me. And let's turn it around. Yeah. And so I thought it looked like rainbow wings or feathers of some kind. So I thought that was fun and kind of cute. The gold and silver and rainbow colors. And then I did a little bit of collaging, and I'll share those in a minute. But then I played with some silvers and some black and some white. And so here's one. Totally reminds me of water. The water flowing and everything. That one was super enjoyable too. Like, I super enjoyed that. And this one, silver and black and white, and a little bit of glitter glaze in there. You can see like some of the green shimmers in there. And yeah, it's kind of fun. I was just looking at this today, and I was like, oh, I see some kind of things in there, in the middle there. And so, yeah, at first I was seeing some kind of a mermaid being, and then today I saw turkey in here too, and turkey's been coming up for me in all sorts of ways this week. So I did 2 little vision boards in the last couple days. And I put them on a canvas just because I felt like doing it that way. And here's my gold canvas. There's that. It's just to help me with, what I want to manifest and what I want to create and what I want to invite and bring in through my being. From sea to shining sea, swimming upstream. Doing good is good, and moving on. Moving on and taking accountability. And then this one I made yesterday, and I wanted it on silver. And so there's that one. So jump in. Ready or not. Yeah, there's the pillars. Oh, right there. Pillars. All these things. Above all, be the heroine of your life and not the victim. I need to listen well so that I hear what is not said. And yeah, been working with that, with listening. With more open-hearted listening. With slowing down and being present and being willing to hear and believing that I can and that I do have access to the answers and to the wisdom and to what's needed right here. So. But it has been challenging. It has been a little bit challenging, but I've just been remembering, what's really true. That I am an engine of mass creation, and I am connected to everything. And I am, a child of Creator. I'm a child of this universe, and I belong here. And I am loved. I am dearly loved, and I'm held. And I am that love. And I am that love for myself. And so, trusting that no matter what happens, everything is well. And it is, just up to me to show up in my own life and be well, choose to be well for me. and the love that's important and matters to me. Yeah, to take care of me, to express my care in ways that honor me and we. So, vitality and prosperity, all these blessings contributing to community and well-being. So jump in, surrender, wash it all away. Jump in, remember who you are, all you are, and what you are. I embraced the not knowing when I was out on the porch writing. And as soon as I wrote that down, a dove, called. And so I heard the dove sing. So dove has come to play. She tells me that freedom and peace is the key. And I can sing it in. I can sing it all in for me and we, fully and freely to be one with me. Being this peace that I need for well-being, I invite this peace to be here and received, offered, given, expressed, and shared freely. All this love that I am, let it be. Be with me. However, whatever may be currently, there is always a choice to return to this peace, this living peace that lives within me. This is the love that I am. Love is free. Thank you, peace. Thank you, love. Thank you, she. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Dynamic Peace. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Swaha. Prosperity, love, freedom, peace. Compassion, empathy, mercy, trust, surrender, and faith. Grace and strength. Believe in yourself and your gifts of abundant love. All this love we be. Be gentle, allowing, and easy with myself. Enjoy the process and the unfolding. Let go of the pressure and just be. I am fertile, I am rich, I am juicy, I am full, I am happy, I am whole. I am prosperous, I am abundant, I am essential, I am an awakened human angel. I am capable, I am able, I am powerful, I am stable, I am beautiful, I am generous, I am intelligent, I am faithful, I am enough, I am held, I am loved and supported, I am well, I am alive and I am here right now. I am cared for and I lovingly care for my whole self, here and now. I receive all this love that's been given to me. I thankfully and joyfully receive this for me, all that I am for our true well-being, all of this love connected to me, all of this love as it is and will be, all of this love, love always, love is free. Let go, allow, and trust love, and receive. Be all this love that I need for my being, through being this love that I am, this love that I am, I receive. And so, just remembering, just remembering all these things. My life as it is, not the idealized version, and myself as I am, not the idealized version. Yeah, because when it's the idealized version, it's inaccessible, and it's on a pedestal or in the ground. Yeah. And so, this is a work in progress. This is a masterpiece. This masterpiece for we and me, all my relations, all we. I bless, thank, celebrate, honor, and praise. I am enough. We are enough. Love is enough. So be. And so, what was coming up too in certain ways was I was feeling irritated or flustered or frustrated with myself for dragging my feet, like in making certain choices, and kind of feeling stuck in certain ways, and like it just kind of like just being impatient with myself, like, and not allowing it to be as it was or as I was. And then it was just like, oh, okay, all right, thank you for that, thanks for this. I can't allow this, and I can allow myself just as I am, and just as this, just as it is, life just as it is. The justice, and working with it from that space where there is room for it to be and to change. And so there was somewhere I was going with that. Gosh, there's some kind of fire under my butt to shift things and to shake things up. It's like I'm so very done just half-assing it or holding myself back. yeah, getting in my own way, cock blocking myself and my creative and legitimate energy. I'm feeling a new sense of direction or motivation to change, alter, or rearrange certain habits and default settings and unconscious patterns, old strategies, the should be's or have to be's, that are no longer viable or working truly or fully for me. And I'm ready to drop the old robes, the myths, the stories, the identities, the distortions, and all that no longer serves me to hold on to, cling to, or carry. And I want to feel good, and I want to feel well. I do. And I want to feel energized, joyful, free, and allowed to be full in my expressions, as me, as everything, as no thing. I allow all I am for my full, true well being. I allow all I am for all of me in my fullness, my full totality. I allow the whole to be fully free, letting it be. I invite love to be here. Love is free with me through this whole web of life, through being. All we be. Love is free. Love is free. So, just be. Oh yeah, just feeling in a lot of ways, oh my gosh, yeah, the highest highs and the lowest lows. So Tuesday was like a really fun, light, bright, energizing, like super happy, just wow, like really energetic day. And that day was like the most social day of the whole week, really, where it was interesting and it was fun and it was spontaneous and it was, love and joy and play. And so I super appreciated all that came into my being or to my space and came my way to play and to bless me, to play with me. And yeah. And then the next day, um, yeah, I felt a little bit burnt out and a little bit energetically hungover, and it was just like, wow, I'm just feeling so draggy. And it was like the opposite side of that, and so I just let myself actually take like a 3.5 hour nap that day, because I was, oh man, it was just like, wow, I had a headache and some body aches and energy fatigue, and even like I was having like weird pains in my elbows, in both my elbows, but like especially my right one. It's really odd because that doesn't really, I don't usually have weird pains like that, and it's just been weird on and off. So, yeah, just interesting things, sensations, and feelings, and yeah, different changes. So, just decided to take it easy and do some good things for myself and let me rest and do things a little differently. And so, yeah, I'm gentle with myself and allowing of myself and my energy needs and taking my own advice around self-care as an essential and not a luxury. So now is a good time to rest and surrender. Now is a great time to be here. And remember, yeah, all of this is happening for me and we. So, super fun exchanges and blessings shared, offered, given, and received. Yeah, all this love for me and for we. Love is all around, always. I so love serving, giving, sharing, blessing, and being all this love for me and we. Thank you, love, for everything. For learning, living, growing, and awakening, changing, and remembering. All this love through being. Freely circulating, resting, creating, playing, receiving, letting go, releasing, and surrendering. Surrendering control and remembering to breathe. Breathing, releasing, being. Freeing love to be, to move through me, we, and she. Freeing love to be. I get to play and create. And just, yeah, be here. Currently, with whatever is currently. So, what else wants to be shared today? Anything else? I am here So recenter and be present. Tune into this winter energy. Slow down, take a pause, and just breathe. Be here and breathe. Relax into love. Relax into my body and all this love right here. Whatever you do is enough today. I am enough, you are enough, we are enough. Our love is enough. Let go of the pressure to achieve or to please. Let go of the have-tos, the shoulds and should-bes. Yeah, and I shared that little piece a few days ago. It was a good day to let go and allow myself all my ways. Yeah. It's always a good time to allow ourselves. Yeah. Healing brings change, and change means new energy, new situations, new dynamics with life, others, and self. Yeah. And that was a little gem that I picked up from Lee Harris at the beginning of, or the middle of December, maybe, in this journal, or at the end of December here. Yep. This was the very end of December. So healing brings change, and change means new energy and new situations, new dynamics with life, self, and others. Yeah. The first thing to be aware of if you are still integrating after a healing experience is putting yourself back together, recovering who you are, is that it's perfectly normal to be seeing your world, yourself, and all your situations as different to how you previously were seeing, perceiving, or experiencing them. This need not happen quickly or in a way that is bigger than you are comfortable with, but sometimes that can be the path. So allowing yourself integration time after a healing, allowing everything inside you to settle, to reform, to infuse your future steps, allows you to operate in a more grounded way as a human being. And so, yeah, that is another good reminder to get grounded. Yeah. When it feels overwhelming, it's just to come back to earth, come down to the ground, and chop wood, carry water, focus on the basics, on like simple activities, you know, that can help, that can really help, yeah, diffuse or discharge, like a lot of the, like really, like fiery energy, like, yeah, that I feel within me. And so, yeah, just remembering to play too, always, yeah. Because I do tend to take a lot of things seriously, and so it's always helpful for me to remember, yeah, to play and to lighten it up and to remember that, yeah, it's just a play, it's a role that I'm playing, you know, like, don't confuse that role that I'm playing with my own, like, identity, yeah. And so, because if something happens to that role that I'm playing, and it's just like, yeah, that's kind of funny, where I can get in my own way, and we'll see what else wants to come up around that. Yeah, that little story. So, forgiveness and acceptance. And I do feel like I am moving into more acceptance about things. And so, yeah, like really, truly I am more in acceptance than I feel like I've ever been about what's happening. But there is, you know, like still that anger there, and that anger is right to be there. Is righteous anger, but it's all in the what I do with it, what I choose to do with it, and how I work with it, and what I create with it. Am I going to let it use me, or do I get to, you know, do I get to make use of that? Because it's part of my energy. And so that's what I'll choose for me. Like, create with it. Create something new, and create something true, and create something that feels right and good for me. Yeah. But first of all, yeah, it's just like acknowledging and allowing myself to feel what I feel without getting swept up in it. And even giving myself allowance if I do get swept up in it. It's okay, like allowing myself to be human and allowing myself that full range. I know there is other like a lot more to share today, but yeah, feeling like that may be enough for now, just as it is. To be and allow. So, anything new? Ah, this is like one of my favorite things that I found before Christmas. I went to Michael's to find some things, and I found this little ornament. Look, it's a happy soft serve turd. And he's so happy. And so I thought, oh my god, I need that in my life. This is bullshit. This is my happy little turd, and he's so happy to see me. I'm so happy to see him. And so it's like, yay, making friends with my bullshit, because my bullshit, it's that's a resource, you know? That's fertilizer, that's compost, that's like the brown gold, you know? And so, gonna honor that resource for me and work with it and play with it and let my bullshit teach me. Like, instead of rejecting it or, you know, disowning it or pushing it away, I'll just say, oh, I'm so happy to see you too. Thanks, bullshit. Thanks for this. You know? And so, yeah, just lighten it up and play. Just play with our bullshit instead of like getting so butthurt, you know, when like it's illuminated, you know. Like, yeah. And then it has no power over us, like our fears and our insecurities and all those things have no power over us once we can like allow it and accept it and make nice with it. So we don't have to like all of it, like we don't, but like what is it? Like, sure, it's bullshit, but what else is it? What else does it get to be, and what else can it be? You know? And so just looking at things a little differently. Like, and so it's because it's a lot more fun to play the victor than the victim in the story. And I'm so done, yeah, with some of these roles and being the scapegoat and, yeah, the martyr, and then the miser, and then the ghost and the bad guy, you know? And, yeah, kind of done with all that. Kind of done with all of that. And so, yeah, one thing that I did realize, oh yeah, this is my thread that came back. So, yeah, one thing that I did realize, and it helped me recognize that there was a part of me in my mental strategies and my inner world, and we'll see how easily this can be expressed. I would always be like flipping back and forth somehow, and would want to see like, oh, what is this belief or this opinion or this story? What's that going to look like to this person? But I have no idea, like in context to what their beliefs and their stories are, what it's going to look like for them. I can only assume, like, from my narrow focus on what I think they believe, or what I believe they believe, or what I feel they might believe, like how it's going to look to them at all. Like, I have no idea, like, how, like, a certain perspective would look to them at all. Like, have no freaking idea anymore. And so it was just like, I don't need to worry about that anymore. I don't need to worry about managing or manipulating myself or my expression or my energy in order for it to be validated or approved or to look all right for someone else. And so like, and it's kind of funny too, where I kind of looked at that, like, where yeah, I have no idea like what this was going to look like to someone else. I have no idea. And also like, they have no idea like what their beliefs and their opinions and their experience looks like to me, you know, because there's no way they can put it into context, you know, like there's assumptions and there's judgments and things, but we have no idea, like we cannot like understand like where someone else is coming from. The closest we can get is relating, and that's through empathy and compassion and relating our own experiences. But most of it is listening and receiving through the heart and being willing, yeah, to allow them and to allow ourselves what we're experiencing. And so, yeah, I feel like that was yeah, one little nugget that I was just like, wow, because I mean, just some of these layers have just been shedding all these old skins and old identities and old stories, and then realizing like how many layers and layers actually were covering up like the whole picture, you know. And so yeah, what I got to be grateful for too is like, wow, because I've been like reviewing and kind of thinking back, going back to May or so, May, June, July of 2020, and kind of looking at some things like, oh man, that was uncomfortable and that was a train wreck, but certain things had to be said, and certain things like, yeah, couldn't be held in anymore. And yeah, just all the shadow dumping and stuff, and all the fears coming up, and like, yeah, all of us doing the best that we can, and with where we were at, you know, at the time. And I was just kind of looking at like, oh my god, I probably looked like a really like, yeah, unbalanced, unhinged, crazy person in certain ways, like, because they'd probably never seen like some of my friends and family members probably had never seen like this certain side of me before. And even though like in my own mind it was justified, because yeah, it needed I needed to express like how I felt and what I was seeing, and wanted to like alert whoever was listening to what was happening. And yeah, and then just I cried and cried and cried and kind of, you know, like said all I could say, like, for yeah, those 6 months or so. And then October came around, and then I was like, okay, I'm done with social media for now. I'm done with this. I've said all I can say, and the rest is just rehashing it and going over and over and over it and raking it over and over again. So I'm done with this. Like, I've said all I've needed to say, and whoever was listening, and whoever wasn't, they're not going to listen now. So just decided to surrender that, and let go and allow, and make the room and make the space for me and what I want to create, and what I want to contribute to. And so, like, definitely the social media and certain like old patterns were like a big energy drain, and so I'm glad I eliminated that in certain ways. And it was good for my health and my wealth all around, like, and my creativity, like freeing up that space and making that room, and yeah, sealing up some of those old drains and energy leaks and certain areas where I wasn't honoring or respecting myself. And so I'm super grateful for that. And also super grateful for the parts that others got to play for me, because some of what I saw and witnessed on social media, like, shocked and unnerved and really, like, horrified me in certain ways, like, in a lot of ways. And it just, yeah, it made me question everything about everything. And so, yeah, it was a lot to process and go through, but looking at it in hindsight now and seeing, like, wow, I'm so grateful that all of these people got to play these parts for me and and that I got to play these parts for them, no matter what it looked like to them. Like, I know what it was for me, what I needed to be. I don't know what it looked like for them, and that was kind of what I was like, oh, it probably just was a train wreck, like, or it looked that way, or it looked, like, unacceptable, in certain ways. But I was just like, you know what? I'm glad I got to play that part, like, and we all get to reflect each other's shadow and each other's light. And so, yeah, it's just kind of fun, like, looking at it from the impersonal lens, like, wow, okay, I've got to play that saint and that sinner, and, like, both are right, So every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. And so it's just like, yeah, allowing all of it and all the parts of the whole. And so I just have my little journal open here. OMG, it's so funny that the little things are what we tend to hyperfixate on, like a little splinter or a piece of shrapnel that keeps rubbing us raw and opening up the original wound. That little speck of dust in the eye that we allow ourselves to consume or assume, judge and exclude, not seeing the beam in our own eye. That obstructs and occludes our own true clear vision. And people are so very fragile and cling so very tightly to their own rigid, tyrannical systems of self-righteous and indignant dogmas. The science or the party or the truth reinforces the stories that we like or that we prefer and are comforted to familiarly know as truth. Let your freak flag fly and just be yourself. It serves even if it makes some people want to flee, away, run, and hide. Maybe they get to see where they have been rigid, inflexible, and willingly blind. Maybe they get to be challenged by example, even if it causes discomfort and a superficial divide on the outside. It makes some so very uncomfortable to confront their own self-made lies and prisons, cages of the mind. And it is very limiting to polarize and make it all either or, and just black or white, to live or to die. So funny that some people are willing to accept all these silly lies, but don't want to consider at all what might be on the other side, or look into anything other than what they're told is true, proper, good, and right, or possible, intelligent, or bright. And they're so very resistant to anything that might burst their comforting bubble of reality to see another side, or our wholeness. We've been taught to fragment and compartmentalize, fracturing the whole of life and our ability to discern what is true and what is a lie. Because we're so attached to our identities and the lives we've been living, we are so afraid to die. We're trained and conditioned to avoid pain, discomfort, change, loss, and the things that we've been taught to dislike, reject, discard, deny, hide, and cast aside. Parts of ourselves, or parts of our energy. So, yeah, that's interesting too. And, yeah, I did have another little thread there. And it went away. And I'll probably remember in just a second. Or later tonight. But, yeah. It is kind of funny in a lot of different ways. How we get attached to our stories and our identities and our beliefs. And where we've identified so rigidly with our beliefs that we think our beliefs are challenged, that we're being attacked. And that's the knee-jerk reaction. And that's where we can start to witness and observe and watch ourselves. And do some inner work, some emotional regulation for ourselves. Because we are being manipulated through certain emotions, certain lower emotions. We do get carried away and we do get hijacked. Yeah, some of our energy does get hijacked through through some of this programming and this formulating strategies to steer us into a certain direction to push or further certain agendas. And so, yeah, it's something good to be aware of. Doesn't really matter, in a lot of ways, what we believe. It's just our attachment to it. And can we allow it to be challenged, and can we challenge ourselves? And can we ask questions? And can we be open to our other selves, And so in a lot of ways, I have been kind of removed and insulated for quite some time from a lot of the programming, because I have chosen not to watch TV for it's been about 15 years or so where I have not had cable in my home or anything like that. I'll still watch certain shows and I'll listen to podcasts and certain things, but I limit my exposure to a lot of different things. And so when it comes to mainstream programming and stuff, I've been luckily don't have to have the bombardments of all of that a lot of people do on a daily basis. And so sometimes, I am just in my own inner bubble of reality and what is coherent and makes sense to me. And then, sometimes I don't realize how other people might receive me or my energy when I'm just showing up and being me, in just totally authentic, just kind, open, loving ways where I'm just weird and I'm just me and I'm just strange, because it's just what I eat, sleep, breathe, and dream, all of these things. And so it's not anything strange or weird to me to talk about past lives, or to talk about the unseen, and to talk about the hidden, and to talk about all this inner life, that's so rich and so fertile inside. And it's a different life than someone who's always looking outward and looking outside. And so I sometimes don't realize how certain people are going to respond or react in certain ways. But it's okay, because I know I can let my freak flag fly high. And I'm not a stranger to playing the strange one or the weirdo. And I've been actually used to that for quite some time, playing that role of the weirdo. And and that's okay. I'll be the best weirdo that I can be. And if I get to play that for me and for we, that's awesome, and I'll be the best one that I can possibly be. And so that was helpful for me to remember this last week. And I actually was texting back and forth with a friend about that and enjoying that. And just saying, I'll be the best little and great weirdo that I can possibly be, and the best asshole that I can be. I'm not going to half-ass it there. I'm going to use my whole ass. and I'll be the best asshole I can possibly be. And the asshole is legitimate. Oh, yes, indeed. And the asshole actually does help us cleanse the well. Does help us cleanse the well, and is a legitimate part of the well as well. And so, yeah, if I get to play that asshole, then I'll just play it in the best ways that I possibly can. And, yeah, and remember, like, to be humble as well. And that we all, like, have our moments. And, yeah, we all get to play that for each other sometimes. And so I'm super grateful for all those who have played those parts for me that I didn't necessarily like or like seeing. But yeah, I can see now very much more clearly, like, how it was love for me and how I did get to see what I did need for me through all these things that weren't comfortable. And yeah, so just thinking that and blessing that and praising that and allowing that and acknowledging all of that. Like, but sometimes, like, the road, yeah, is kind of bumpy, and it's not comfortable. But wow, when we, like, we just come up through the valley, through the place of the sunrise, and then we see that new, new full, whole, true view, and where everything's unified, and everything is you. Yeah, it's all part of us, and then we can see, like, and remember who we really are, all that we are, and then we know, like, actually what we are not. And so it's, yeah, just a fun and exciting and disturbing journey, sometimes. And it's all what we make of it and what we get to do with it and how we play with it. And so I'll just leave y'all with that. I hope you're all doing well. Happy full moon in Cancer on the 17th, and it's, yeah, it'll be really awesome to surrender a lot of old stories and welcome in, like, all of this healing that's available and that's happening now, and that already has healed all this love, like, that has already become whole. Yeah. So I love you. Be love for yourselves. Be well. We'll see you for now. Bye.